Alright, and welcome to part 7 of porting the Elemental Shields to Sonic 1. So like last time, before we can make a start, we have to address an issue from the last part. So, in the last part I added the bubble shield, and forgot to uncomment some code, and at the time I thought something was off, but I just couldn't tell. I figured it was just my man playing tricks on me. So back to, no, not jump height. It's the bubble bounce. No. React to ground? I forget its name. It's in here somewhere. Nope. In here somewhere. I swear I'm good at this. Here we go. Reset on the floor. There we go. You see, I forgot to set an animation on the bubble shield. So, let's quickly reassemble and see if there's an actual difference. Man, AS is slow. That thing's a bit of a programming nightmare, actually. If I remember right, it was written in, what, Pascal or something? And converted to C. And it's just, I can't even read the damn code. I'm sorry, did it fail to build because I changed one line? Oh, not this again. Okie doke. Well. Hopefully this doesn't blow my ears off. Okay, it may have blown my ears off. Probably should have cut that bit out, but oh well. There we go. See, that's what I was hoping to see. Okay, so that's the bubble shield actually finished. So now we just need to focus on this right here, the sound effects. Now, in case you don't know, sound in general, when it comes to Sonic hacking, is perhaps the most, well, just the worst thing. Because you need really specialised knowledge. Like, I can port pretty much, any song from any Sonic game to another with, like 90% accuracy, but only because I specialise, okay? I specialise in SMPS modifications. I have, like, 3 custom SMPS sound engines, or sound drivers, for some reason we call it that. I maintain 3 of these damn things. I know the differences, I know the history of SMPS dating back to, like, arcade machines according to Valley Bell. So, yeah, this isn't really something you can just do from the get-go without knowing much. Though, as time has gone by, things have gotten easier. So there's one really, really useful tool for porting music and sounds from one game to another. It's not perfect, it's about 50% of what you need, but it gets the job done. It's a tool called SMPS to ASM. Now there's an issue, there are like 3 things called SMPS to ASM. You have S1, SMPS to ASM, made by Sonosu, which is just for porting, Sonic 1 songs? I'm not sure. Then you have the real SMPS to ASM by Flamewing, which is a continuation of S1 SMPS to ASM that targets Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles and Sonic 3D Blast. Then you have the other SMPS to ASM by either Greensnake or Natsumi or Aurora Fields. The name keeps changing. Yeah, it has the same name, but it is completely different to the regular SMPS to ASM. Different format, different everything. It's probably better, but I use SMPS to ASM, the Flamewing one. Heck, I've contributed to it, so we're using that, okay? Because I cannot teach you how to use the other one. I've never used it. I tried years ago, but Anyway, SMPS to ASM. Here it is. Well, okay, let's go back. Flamewing, Natsumi. Ignore that, that's not relevant here. Okay. Now that can't be right. Now this is out of date. SMPS to ASM, I'm pretty sure, is on GitHub, as is the sound driver that he's advertising here. Alright, let's hunt that down. It's going to be on GitHub somewhere. Okay, well I guess we're doing this manually. Thanks, Google. Right, so... yeah, Flamewing has a account here. Flame Driver. I believe this is where he keeps the most up-to-date version of SMPS to ASM. Ignore that. So, yeah, there it is. SMPS to ASM. It's at this URL in this repo for this user. Now, to provide a little context, I suppose, that thread, I don't recommend it. It gives you a little overview of like, features and stuff, but no installation guide, no nothing, just a little history lesson. And yeah, when I started with this stuff, I had to figure out how to add SMPS to ASM on my own. But let's pause and give a little explanation again. So you might be thinking, if Sonic 1, 2, and 3 all use the same engine, why do you have to convert the music? Can't it just work if you drag and drop a file? No, unfortunately. They do use the same family of sound engines. We call it SMPS. But each version has its own bytecode format. They're essentially just completely incompatible. You cannot copy a song from Sonic 2 to Sonic 1 and have it work. You can't even copy a sound effect. No, they are totally different. I mean, you can even look this kind of thing up and see how insane it is. So, like Sonic Community Hacking Guide, SMPS. Yeah, they explain the bytecode for you right here. So, yeah, pointer and header format. That's how you know you're in for a good time. Look at this. Coordination flags. Come on, no, wait. Here we go. Look at that. The header differs, the pointers differ. There's more headers, more headers, more headers. Okay, that's just the header. Cool. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, look at those coordination flags. This is stuff you have to learn if you want to become fucking proficient in SMPS, and let me tell you, it is a nightmare, because these coordination flags all differ between the various SMPS versions. But you don't have to worry about that. SMPS to ASM, for the most part, will handle that for you. It'll convert the bytecode, but there's stuff it won't do. It will not port the various drum samples, or PCM samples, either way the drum sounds. It won't port those. It will not port the PSG envelopes. It seems like a goofy name. I'm not into sound theory. Either way, it's a PSG. It's an 8-bit instrument. It will port FM 16-bit synthesizer instruments because they're part of the song data. So, yeah, SMPS to ASM is not a catch-all, but it does handle the bytecode for you. The other stuff, though, well, when we're porting the sound effects, we may have to address the PSG bit. But we might not to, so we'll get to it if and when we get to it. We just need this file, because it will enable us to just convert the data, assuming it has no outside dependencies. Now, I think the sounds all use FM instruments, and like I said, those are part of the sound data, the sound file. So SMPS will handle it. SMPS to ASM will handle it. So let's just save this. Yeah, .txt, wonderful. Alright, well, if you're a Windows user, you should probably explore, no, folder. Okay. Show hidden files and folders. you want to have this thing turned off so you can see the .asm, the .txt, so then you can rename them whenever you need to. Just a heads up, because everyone on their first try seems to miss these things. Well, that's that downloaded. I suppose this can go in ink. Yeah, whatever. Lucky for us, because we're hacking Sonic 1. There are fewer steps. If I recall, if you were to add SMPS to ASM or add a sound at all to Sonic 2 and 3, you kind of have to convert the whole game to use SMPS to ASM. The music and sounds in Sonic 2 and 3 don't like being moved around. In Sonic 1 they're fine, so we'd have to worry about that. So, here the sound driver is split to its own little file, and at the very top, I think, hang on a tick, where do we keep... Yeah, we keep the sound data and the music data in this file. Okay, we just need SMPS to ASM above the music and sounds, because of like declaration order. It's a mess. So, that ought to do it. But here's what you don't get told. You need to define, not that, sorry. You need to define two variables. The Sonic driver version. Nah, what am I talking about? It's just Sonic driver version. Now I'm getting too into it. So, this is Sonic 1, so we set it to 1. 2 for Sonic 2, 3 for Sonic 3, 4 for Sonic and Knuckles, and 5 for Sonic 3D Blast. And just like that, we've... Actually, before we get ahead of ourselves... Yeah, it builds. Okay. So this is now working. If you didn't do this, it would error. Now... So this is where the files are included. You give them a label, and then you hook the label into a table. Okay, that was a bad example. Ignore DO, everything below. As you can see, it gets hooked into this table. You have all these pointers. What do these pointers do? Oh, nothing. No, they are used. I believe they're in constants.asm. Here. So this is where you define the IDs which you use when you call the play sound function. It's called something different in the Sonic 1 disassembly. This is Sonic 3's version. But yeah. So we need sound data from Sonic 3. This might be a little tricky. Because I know back in the day when I first made this hack, it was a lot harder. But I did see that since I've been away, someone's been adding sound equates to the Sonic 3 disassembly. So maybe we don't have to... Yeah, cool. We already know. We now know. The fire shield is 3E, bubble shield, 3F, unknown shield. Probably a prototype electric shield. It's 40, yeah, it's all here. Now, we cannot copy the sounds from Sonic 3. I know I said SMPS to ASM converts to bytecode. Yeah, it doesn't convert from bin. SMPS to ASM is actually kind of two programs, you see. There's an EXE, which takes one of these files and turns it into ASM, hence the name SMPS to ASM. The thing we just put in Sonic 1, well, it's a bit of a misnomer. If anything, it should be called ASM to SMPS. It turns it from ASM back into the bin format of the game you told it to convert to at the top of this file right here. Come on, Windows. So it's converting from ASM to Sonic 1. So we could use the second tool to convert this to an ASM file, but I can't be bothered. SMPS to ASM does come with pre-converted sounds, so we'll just do that. As you can see, we have a Sonic & Knuckles folder. We have optimized sound effects, but there is potential for these optimizations to damage the sounds, but as you can see, they're already in ASM format. For accuracy's sake, I'm going to use the unoptimized versions just in case, and with the help of this handy dandy little constants file, wherever the heck it went. I can figure out which number corresponds to each sound. So let's see, we're definitely going to need this, this. We'll need a whole lot of them, aren't we? Okay, well. Just debating whether to pause now and come back once I've got them all downloaded. 3E. I guess I'm doing it this way. I mean, you could download the whole repo and extract the files yourself, but see you in a bit. Okay, sod it, I'm just going to clone the whole repo. So here, clone, download zip. You get a zip, here's the zip. Open it up, Sonic & Knuckles, SFX, and here we go. Now we just need to start copying the ones we want to the sound folder. I know the naming style and file format clashes. We'll just have to live with it. So we want 3E. Yeah. 3F. What others? 4.1. .43, 43, 44, 45. Alright. Now we include them and hook them into everything else. Now the difference, again, this is a binary file, hence .bin. This is an assembly file, hence .asm. We do not use the binclude directive. Damn, I don't know what the heck we're going to name these. Yeah, we use include. I believe that was that sound's name. Yeah, okay. We're going to do that for all the others. Hang on, what? Oh, right. The unknown shield comes before the electric shield. You know, I'm not joking when I say that sound stuff is ridiculously complex. I mean, once you know what to do, it's straightforward, but it's the whole process of learning it. It's overwhelming, and there are a lot of awful, outdated tools out there that claim to port sounds for you. They do a terrible job. Like, they might convert the pointer format, but not the coordination flags, basically commands. They won't convert the FM voice format. They will not account for quirks in the parser. You know, just. I'd argue that the SMPS series is pretty much the pinnacle, the peak. It could be better, but it's still way better than what we had before. I think I was around when the Flamewing SMPS to ASM came out, and yeah, pretty revolutionary. Because previously it was Black Magic. Sure, it's not a catch-all. I mean, you ain't gonna port music from Michael Jackson's Moonwalker to Sonic 1, even though they are the same format, more or less. No, but yeah, it's good for porting Sonic things between other Sonic things. Except Sonic CD and Chaotix. You know. Like I said, SMP S27 gets about 50% of the job done. But it's better than nothing. So now that we have our includes and our labels, we now need to hook them into that table from earlier. Here we go. Because without this, the driver won't know where the heck your sound files are. I do wonder if we actually have room for 6 more sounds in the game. I mean, this thing goes all the way from, what, 80? No, AO. Up to DO. And as you saw, there was a sound D0 that we're pushing back. I don't know how well the engine's going to cope with us shuffling things around like that. Like, these names are arbitrary, they can be whatever you want. It's just, you know, naming them after their numbers is pretty bad. They should have named these sound effects. So, you know, we're totally free to just call it this. Hang on a tick. Is that accurate? No, I thought not. For my neck. The last thing I want to do is start building the ROM and have to go back and correct a bunch of dumb typos. If you have ever used the Hivebrain disassembly or the XenoWell Sonic 2 disassembly, there's none of this fancy pointer stuff. There are no equates, you just use raw numbers, which is probably where these things got their names from. I don't recommend that. Very gross using raw numbers. Because we're going to be moving sound DO from, you know, DO to maybe EO. So, you know, give us 16 more slots to fill. If you're using raw numbers, you are screwed. You know, you'll have to go through the game and change every number that got moved. With these things, though, the numbers are determined automatically. You use names, and the names don't really mean anything. Well, they are hard-coded to a particular number, I should say. I know it's kind of unintuitive if you're new to programming and you've started with assembly and raw numbers, but trust me, as you get more experience, you realise everyone else does this, and for good reason. You don't want to be playing with raw numbers. Heck, Sonic Team didn't. We know from leftover code in Sonic 2, where the sounds just and the RAM addresses just shift. They used a an equate system just like this. So, that's the table done. Now the only thing to change, like for now, the sound engine is done. It has the files defined, they're linked to its little table. The sound driver engine can find these sounds if it was told to find them. So now we need to get the game to tell the sound engine to use these sounds. So we're going to dig into the constants file, and we're going to add more constants. I do wish there was a macro for this, because this is irrelevant, that's irrelevant, this is irrelevant. It's only this you want to focus on. So we're going to have sound fire shield and SFX fire shield, and that's it. There, that sound ID is now working. Now we just define the others, and we'll be good to go. It's strange, really. When it comes to the Sonic hacking community, I don't really think there are any guides for fundamental things. You know, there is no guide for, well, how to port a sound effect. No, there's always it's something big and high level. Like how to port X and Y to Sonic 1, you know, like this series. Trust me, if I continue this series, I will try and move more into the area of teaching fundamentals. Because it's great and all me showing how to port the elemental shields and along the way explaining the DMAQ and stuff, but when, you know, I don't really get a chance to go too much into detail. And that lack of detail, going by my comments, has led some people to make mistakes. And you know, you need to learn to run before you learn to fly. Porting the elemental shields, that's kind of endgame hacker stuff. when you don't have a guide explaining it anyway. But, you know, how do you think I got here? I had to figure this out. And, well, trial and error in this stuff isn't fun. Having something to explain each little component, like, off the top of your head, can you tell me what the DMA queue does, or is for, or its upsides, or its downsides? Probably not, if this is the first time you've heard of it in this, you know, since you started watching the series. It's having that knowledge that makes these things easy. I mean, it's time consuming. I mean, how long have I been doing this? 10 hours? Good grief. Alright, well. Oof, where do we begin? Okay, let's... I don't know where to begin. We could do it all. Let's do it all. Let's start with the getting the power-ups. Okay, that was already correct. Cool. And I suppose it's this part where I explained the Sonic 1 disassembler's god-awful music and sound effect macros. I swear I'm going to remove these from the disassembly next chance I get. Because these are awful. These are terrible. Why do we even have macros for this? What do these numbers mean? I know I added them, but I added them because this stupid thing can't cover them all. It's awful. I hate these things. So we're not using them. Screw those macros. They're terrible. Because Sonic 3 does it the proper way, the way Sonic Team did it. You put a number in a register, D0, and pass it to the play sound function. We just need to know what function that's called, what that function is called in Sonic 1. Is it called play sound? Is it even in here? Sod it, I'm just going to look at the listing file again. Hello? Okay. What the heck is this PC doing? Yeah, here we go. As you can see, the macro just expands to either a move.w or a move.b or a move.q or a JSR or a BSR or a JMP or a BRA. All you need to know is put number in D0, call play sound. But there are two of them. You saw in the Sonic 3, you know, the commented out Sonic 3 code, you have play sound and play sound 2. Well, Sonic 1, the Sonic 1 disassembly calls play sound 1 play sound and play sound 2 play sound special. It's stupid. Okay, there are two sound queues, so if one queue is full, you have somewhere to put the other one, and yeah, it's just kind of to prevent sounds from not playing because there's no room in the queue. So you have like a low priority queue and maybe a high priority queue for a sound that absolutely must. You know, I take it back. Maybe play sound special isn't a bad idea because it's for sounds that absolutely have to play, even if one queue of low priority sounds is totally full. So, yeah, I suppose I take that back. So apparently the Fire Shield, not that special, doesn't need to put in the special sound queue. But of course this is the Bubble Shield, so we're going to use the Bubble Shield sound. Now we're going to go into... Sorry, the Bubble Bounce code, and put the Bubble Bounce back. And as you can see, this one does use play sound special. I guess it's just a really high priority sound. I mean, to be fair, I think Sonic 3 has, what, 3 sound cues? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it only has 2 cues, but the sound engine has 3, so the third one goes unused. I know Sonic 1 was meant to have 3 sound cues, but a bug in the sound engine makes it so the third one doesn't function. Fun little bit of trivia there. Right, now where is... Here we go. So just double checking, because I don't want to make a mistake like I did at the beginning of this video and had to hunt down another missing bit of commented out code. Yeah, the returns are no longer needed because JMP also returns. I should probably tell you, move.w, move.b, move.q, doesn't really matter. Do whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it vanilla. I can't be bothered to clean up this code. I mean, that's not what we're here for, is it? We're just porting. But I will tell you, there's no upside to move.w. I'm pretty sure the play sound functions, they just read a byte. There's really nothing going on there. I guess it's just Sonic Team being wasteful. Alright. Before we build and test, let's just go over the object code just to make sure we're not missing anything. What am I doing? Come on. Okay. Doesn't seem to be anything too important commented out there. How about here? Nope, nothing here. Honestly, I probably should have kept a to-do list of every little bit of code I've commented out and said, I'll deal with it later. Because, well, now that we're wrapping up, it is going back to haunt me. Yeah, it's a shame I couldn't get that replicated, but I have no clue what the heck the equivalent in Sonic 1 is. Yeah, that's irrelevant. Not needed. Not needed. Not needed. Not needed. Okay, well, besides the monitor, like, not handing out the other two types of shield, which will require adding the sound code for them, for now... God damn it. So I'm not the only one that calls it the electric shield. Fancy that. Because that, you know, this is code from Sonic 3, so the Sonic 3 constants, or equates, do call it the electric shield. So I'm not crazy. That's good to know. Oh, come on, what is it? Lighting shield. Yeah, sure. And when I said I was trying to avoid typos... Aha! Okay. Tracks for Sonic 1 songs must come after the start of the song. That's interesting. So there appears to be not quite a bug, but an incompatibility in one of the sounds we ported. Let's take a peek. Oh, wow. It would appear a good number of sounds share track data. So this must be defined in sound 3E. Yeah, here it is. But you see, if we come to the sound driver thingy, sound 3E comes before 3F and 4.1 and all the others that use or share the track data. But as that error told you, this is SMPS giving you a warning about incompatibility, it cannot convert the byte code, or the pointers or whatever, because Sonic 1's driver is physically incapable of letting a sound have a negative pointer or offset. Sonic 3's does. Probably because it uses absolute addresses or whatever. Either way, we can hack around that. We can just come in here and put 3E below these ones. And that way, no sounds will have to point backwards to reference its shared track data. Yeah, remember how I said how Sonic 1 doesn't care if you move sound files around? Yeah, they tend not to do cross-sound hackery like this. Alright, did it build? It built. Cool. I know you probably won't be able to hear this, and I'm not turning up the mic for turning up the speakers for you. I'll just tell you if it works. So see you when I get a shield. Okay, we have a problem. You hear that? You probably don't hear that, but the waterfall is playing the fire shield sound. I'm an idiot and I keep forgetting things. Alright, well. So this is sound CF. This is hexadecimal. We added Fire Shield. It's one after CF, so it becomes DO, but DO is already being used by what we call the special sound effects. I think a proper name is background sound effect. But there's only one in Sonic 1, and there are none in Sonic 2 and 3. In fact, the code for it was removed. But yeah, we have a quick and dirty solution. We use DO up to like D6, and there's only one special sound, so we'll just bump the starting number from D0 to DF. So DO is DF, and the SFX waterfall will now be DF, and so by changing one number, we've just magically moved the waterfall sound from D0 to DF, and now the game should work. So again, see when I get to a shield, then maybe I'll stop by a waterfall just so I can show you that it's working now. Okay, I literally just paused and this happened. Let's try that again. I don't know why that happened. Okay, well, that's not very nice. I imagine I've somehow broken the Sega sound, which is E1, by setting it to DF. I don't really know how that happened. Let's quickly compromise. Let's just set it to D8 and hope the issue goes away. Oh, what have I done? Alright, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I found the issue. It looks like it's a problem with the disassembly. That's really stupid. Okay, you see, sound spec last is spec first plus like 1. And this adds 10 to it, and if it falls within that range, it plays this, or doesn't play. Either way, it crashes. It crashes because this got pushed up, so E1, which is the Sega sound, is now part of this range, spec last plus 10, and that causes it to crash. So again, hopefully this will be corrected in the disassembly, because at some point I'm going to go back and apply all the fixes and improvements and documentation changes I've made to these disassemblies throughout the series, and just put them in the disassembly, Either way, yeah, this is a bug in Sonic 1's driver. If you want to fix it, just there, done. Now it's not a problem. So now I can come back here and edit, this as much as I want, and it will not affect the darn Sega sound. But yeah, that is, it's what you're getting into. It's ROM hacking. You're hacking an old game from 1991. It's got bugs. It's got weird issues, and sometimes the disassembly just makes things worse. But yeah, this is a bug in Sonic 1's sound engine, and it tripped me up. It's no modern game engine, I'll tell you that. Anyway, see when I get to a waterfall or I get a shield. Yeah, it crashed. I'm not having a good day today. Okay, maybe this is why. Notice how this is BLS, branch if lower than or the same. So SFX last is the final sound effect. That is CF. But spec last is BLO, which is branch if lower, which means, according to this, the final... Oh, what am I saying? Either way, it doesn't count D... Yeah. It doesn't count DF as a sound. It'll try and use it as a command and invalid offset table, and again, this flipping broken old engine. So yeah, change it to a branch shift lower than or same, and now it should work. See you in a bit. Alright, well, you probably can't hear it, or maybe you can, but the waterfall sound is working. So now just to get a shield. While I'm here, I mean, did I tell you? Did I tell you that all this sound work is just ridiculously complex? Because you have to work around sound engine quirks and fix bugs and... Well, that little thread by Flamewing, it did have a custom sound engine. You can use that, but It's a lot of work just to get it installed. Anyway, bubble shield. That sound works. And these sounds are working. Hell yeah. So we got that last bit of authenticity. The bubble shield sounds like a bubble shield. And in theory, if we would spawn a fire shield, or electric shield, or lightning shield, it will work all the same. So let's go with a fire shield for now. Rebuild and retest. Okay, fire shield. That's not a fire shield. Man, I am just making a fool of myself today. Okay, well, yeah, I think it's working. It's just I swear once upon a time the sound would sound wrong. I mean, not to mention the fire shield dash sound. It sounds like a PSG sound, and as I said, those don't quite work between sound engines unless you port things. Oh, I see. Yeah, it is a PSG sound, but it does not use what I said earlier, the PSG envelopes, which differ between the sound engines and need to port them over. Yeah, this doesn't use any. It uses a waveform of some type, plays a note, alters the volume, and etc. So, okay, apparently we're fine. Alright, well, onto the electric shield, I suppose. Or lightning shield, as I keep failing to call it. Or the lightning shield. I keep forgetting it's not lightning shield, is it? It's like lightning. I seriously do not remember how the heck I spell this thing. LTN, yeah. There we go. Okay, cool. All sound effects have been ported successfully. Not without its, grievances. Oh, there is one issue. It seems to be working, but not quite. Okay. This is a detail I always forget about, especially because Sonic 3 does not concern itself with it. But remember how I said that Sonic 1 and 2 and 3 have what they call sound cues. Multiple sounds can be set to play per frame, but there's a limit. Well, there's something similar. If one sound is playing and the game wants to play another sound, there are only so many sounds the game can play at once. It'll run out of, like, FM channels if it tries too many. So the game has to decide, do I stop playing the current sound and start playing this new one, or is this current sound too important and I just don't play the other sound? Sonic 3 doesn't do any of that. It will always play the newest sound, if I remember right. And that wasn't quite a feature. That was because they ran out of room for the priority table. Yep, you heard that right. A big, ugly table of priorities for each individual sound. Yep. Would you look at that? Now, I do not remember how this thing works for the life of me, but the point is... Actually, no, I take it back. All sounds are already accounted for. I thought the table ended at CF and I'd have to add ones for the new sounds, but no, they're like dummy slots right here. But, these are dummy, except for that one, that's the waterfall sound. There's only one regular sound effect that's marked as 80. The rest are either, high priority and low priority and very low priority and medium. Like, what does this say right here? Hopefully this documentation explains it for us. Must have a priority higher than or equal to. Alright, well, won't play. If bit 7 is set, the new sound will not set as priority, meaning any music or SFX can override it. Usually SFX will only override SFX, special SFX will only override special SFX, and music will only override music. Alright, these are songs then. Okay. Yeah, the sound effects do start at AO, and I think the first sound is the jump. And it's so low priority. If bit 7 is set, will not set as priority. So the jump can be overwritten by anything. So can the waterfall and our new sounds. There's an issue there. But either way, so the Sonic 3 behaviour of anything can override anything. So it means we should probably come through and set these to 70. Like, yeah, 80 is higher than 70, but again, bit 7 is set when it's 80. So in effect, you have to subtract 80. So these, they're 0. 70 is higher than 0. Any sound will overwrite the fire shield, but the fire shield will not overwrite anything. That means, anything could happen, and the sound, in theory, if I'm understanding it right, the fire shield, the electric shield, the bubble shield, their sounds won't play if anything else is playing. So that's an issue. So we're going to set it to 90, which is the common audio, the common sound priority. We're just going to set all of our new sounds to 70. So now it will correctly overwrite and let itself be overwritten by other sounds. And I think with that, we're now done. I don't think there's really any testing to do because, well, I was playing with broken priorities and I couldn't tell the difference. Maybe there's a reason Sonic 3 got rid of this damn thing, because it's a big blob. It takes up a bit of RAM in the Sonic 3 sound engine, that is. But yeah, okay, well, unless I come up with any minor errors in the next couple of seconds, I think it's safe to say we've done it. It's done, it's finished. We've gotten the sound effects ported from Sonic 3 to Sonic 1 using SMPS to ASM, so we don't have to worry about bytecode conversion. The sounds all sound correct, or as correct as they can in the Sonic 1 engine. Didn't need to port any envelopes, any PCM samples. We had to address one goofy pointer error because Sonic 1's a bit more limited than Sonic 3, ironically. Well, when it comes to the sound engine, if you know SMPS, you'll know how limited Sonic 3 is. But, I think I said that sentence backwards, how limited the Sonic 1 engine is. But yeah. So, well, yeah, I think that's it. The sounds are done. So what will we be doing in the next part? Well, we have a lot of little mistakes, little oversights, and their design choices to address. Like you might have seen when I was playing with the fire shield, sometimes I'd air dash and I'd go quick, other times I'd go slow. Also, I've got a comment that says if you bubble shield on a spring, it doesn't work, not properly anyway. There's also the issue of the DMA queue, how I'm not resetting it when the game mode changes, how Sonic 2 Revision 1 makes it so if you soft reset during a DMA, the game won't freak out. So, in the next part, we will address a bunch of tiny little bugs, oversights, and design choices that will drag this hack down if it was finished and released right now. So, see you then.